All right, getting ready on this lovely Sunday afternoon to do a little bit of coding, and I'm not sure what I'm going to get into today. Going to continue working on the Maxim-Engine, and it's going to be, I think, towards more practical examples. You know, the end of the last stream, I just started out. I added this examples folder. And it's got a really simple example in it, and it kind of got me thinking about how are we all going to use this thing, right? Otherwise, why does this thing even exist? And thinking again about that project that I had spun it out of, and I thought I might take a couple steps here. One is to put it back into that project. Right now, that project still has the really rudimentary version of this stuff that I originally prototyped into it, and I'd like to externalize the engine. And then as I kind of rejig what those rules are, I can pull some more practical examples out to illustrate how at least how I was using it, and how others might. So that project has a couple of interesting usage patterns where, some of it is decisions being made, some of it is calculation kind of things. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. I just want to do a really quick once over, even though. Even though I checked things when I left the stream last time, I want to make sure that we're still good with everything passing. Everything looks good from a Travis CI standpoint. Well, those badges wouldn't be there, but hey, who knows? Let's go take a quick look. I'm testing this under 3 versions of Node, so I think that's going to be good. I got to give a quick shout out to Travis. I've been using Travis for a while on a couple of different kinds of projects, and recently, because most of my work ends up now being just consulting for other companies, and kind of even one more step removed, kind of more management consulting than even getting into the bits and pieces of how to build environments and all that. So the thing that I've continued to use Travis for has been anything that touches open source. I think it's really nice that they continue to provide this as a service to the open source community, and I know, or at least I'm sure, that other CI systems do as well. I got friends that are all fans of Circle CI and some of the other services out there. I don't know, I just I used Travis a while ago and I keep falling back to it. So I still have some commercial stuff on it too, so that doesn't hurt. It's easy to step back into it. So anyways, it's got my back. I'm very happy that it's got my back. And let's do a quick review of the usage of the engine. Instantiate a new engine. Register rules. Execute the rule set across a piece of data. Alright, yeah, because this, if I put that back. If I go and I execute this, it gives me a little bit of output. 4 milliseconds to run those rules. I don't know whether that's necessarily fast or slow. That instrumentation that I was talking about, again, also during the last stream, I have a feeling that gets far more important as I have code that uses this to any larger degree. these trivial things aren't going to show anything up. And as such, I might think about today as I go through this other exercise and think about what can I do to build a large synthetic rule set that we can execute through the engine and start to look at some performance metrics. You could imagine that duplicating all these data structures in between generations of memory, of working memory, it might get expensive and maybe prohibitively slow. But I'd like to act on fact, not conjecture. So once we get to that point, let's try an experiment and see what comes out of it. I do notice I got some stuff going on here in Git where I didn't do a couple of final check-ins here. Oops. Ah, yes. No, I did the check-ins. This is a new line at the end of the file since I opened it up and it was consequently saved. And these are this is the describe block around instrumentation. I don't have any way to test the instrumentation. Instrumentation is it's like a side effect right now, so I'm going to leave that out too. So I have nothing actually to commit here. So the other project, my gosh, where do I even have it? This one. This was the other project that I pulled from. Let me open it up in a new window, please. All right. So, oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've been in here. These were the rules that I had to find for it. And this module is just an array of rules specific to this email receiver. Oh my gosh. They're a bit icky. I just transcribed them. I didn't get too much into rejigging some of this, but I wonder how many of these would actually work as is. Curious to see. Oh, summary score in WM. I completely forgot about that nice little node syntax. Huh. It's funny. You do this kind of thing for long enough and yeah, you forget. You come back to it. It's like, oh, the thing. I don't remember the thing. The thing was cool. It's too bad I forgot about the thing. Let's remember the thing again. I think this could add some clarity in how I define the rules in the engine. So here, do I have any? You know what? I have that example here. Oh, I guess that's not quite the same. This, however, could be something like that was. Now, this was not equal, so this starts to get weird. I'm going to leave it the way it was. Explore that another time. Although, I'm curious to see if the syntax is fine. So if I have some object that's got a message in it, then if hello, no, hang on, message in A. Then that's a yep. If not message in A, is not a yep. Huh. Looks like that would work. I'm going to put it in. I just think that reads so much nicer. Put this over here. Okay. That sounds like a plan. Improving documentation with drop in object syntax. And we're gonna change the spec, totally gonna, hang on, what was it? That was just the line ending, yeah. Not gonna include that, just gonna include the change to the README. Make it so. All right. Meanwhile, how did I use these rules? Let's go back up to my driver. Let's go to the command line. Driver. Email. I called it a rule transformer. That's what I did. You right here. See? This looks reminiscent of crazy early version of the engine. And yeah, the spec is decidedly a thing. Engine. Look at that, I even called it Maxim-Engine back then. Does that mean I completely preserved the interface? Register a parameter. Register single rule. I'm not sure that survived. Because that was just register. Let's just look at the engine. No, I still have register single rule even. All right. Execute on working memory. Do the thing. Ooh, I got that bug in it. Never showed that bug up in this set of tests, or in this usage example. All right. I did have a rule count, which returned this rule's length, which I don't know if did I actually use this anywhere? Yeah, no. It's kind of a dead method. That's good, because it ain't going to exist anymore. So, question, did I accidentally build a pure drop-in replacement? Maybe that was my original intent, but... Hang on, I think I tried to plug this back in at one point. If I look at the rule transformer, I did plug it in. Oh, go memory. So if I actually plugged it in, that means when I went to look at it, I was actually looking at that old implementation. So let's try a thing. Let's try have a spec around rules so that it's still testing that it ran the rules. If I try an npm update Maxim-Engine, that ought to .094. Is that a valid syntax? Maybe. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to just, you know what I'm not familiar or comfortable with on Windows yet is, I want to do this. What's the equivalent of that? It used to be a deltree command in DOS. Well, it's third party too. Oh my gosh, showing to age. Can I just delete it? Yes to all? Maybe there's a del/a or something. Let's do an install. Run our tests. Some rudimentary wrapper tests around it. I think it's good. So, all right, back to the structure of this project. So apparently I'd already done the integration. Yay, memory. Okay, so as you can tell, my working memory is very small. Where we got here? Doing some rounding. Setting a Boolean value based on a string for a summary message. Yeah, it's weird the way the client code calculates that out as a string. It was never tackled properly as a data set, Wouldn't mind revamping that, but honestly I'm trying to find someone to take over the project. So if you know someone, let me know. Because I need and when I say the project, there's a native Android client in Java. There's a native iOS client in, did we port it to Swift? I think it's in Swift. And yes, it's in Swift. And then there's this JavaScript stuff, which has become a Lambda. So I don't relish taking any of this stuff. That's just a little nuts. That's a bunch of recursive things. There's a when there's results and there's summaries, walk through the results, transcribe, walk through the responses. So this is doing scoring, but a little extra scoring, which is odd. Started off a bad habit, had some of the scoring calculated in the client, and then kind of lost a bit of control over that, had some interns working in it, and, you know, kind of things got coded out, and then looking back through it, it's like, shouldn't have split the responsibility for analyzing the data between the app and the email receiver. I can understand why it was done. There's some results that want to report in the app right away, but it leads to some of the calculations happening there and some of the calculations happening here, and it's weird. Don't like weird. Well, I like all kinds of weird, but that weird is not the weird that I like. Yes. The episode in which Stacey qualifies weird. Okay. What can I pull out of this that's helpful? I don't think much, you know? I think I like this kind of pattern where I might have a rule where I'll say, let's see, and maybe that is an extension of simple, so what if, let's create a new file that is a cascade. I like the cascade idea. So let's pull in the engine. Initialize it. Well, this kind of cascades too. I could simplify this by doing this. Because I think this cascade is a little bit more illustrative, where you could say you've got a high priority condition. So let's say priority 10. Actually, 1 is greater than undefined, so, well, let's use 10. 1, I don't want people to assume 1 is the highest priority. So when we don't have, oh, hang on, that needs to be a lambda, please. When we don't have a message in working memory, none was provided. This doesn't really cascade though. Oh, I'll stick to my hello goodbye. When the message in working memory is hello, oh yeah, you're at consequence, please. Then we'll swap it to goodbye. Now, here I feel like I want to decorate these. I want to say, can I give this a description? Default message, if none provided, is hello. When the message is hello, let's change it to goodbye. I feel like if I was browsing through a rule set, I'd want to see these kinds of things. And I also feel like, as I'm writing an example, instead of adding a comment to it, I'd like it to be part of the rule. So if I ask the engine to execute on nothing, then obviously look at this functionality. I'm duplicating this little block of stuff here. See, I got my examples, my cascade. Oh, the result was blank. Let's revisit that. And simple still runs. That doesn't seem right, does it? I'm asking the engine to execute. I've registered 2 rules. Yeah. That's not the right one. And the priority doesn't seem to make a difference. I found a bug. Bugs. So, let's see what I got here. I love bugs. Bugs are information. Information I didn't have before. I always appreciate new information when it's a fact. And this is a fact. Based on an observation, there's some meaning here. What do I got? Well, let's dig in a little. 2 rules executed. This was the end result. Now I kind of wish I had some of that instrumentation, huh? I mean, I'd like to know what happened in working memory across those two different rules being run. I'd like to know what rules fired, and I don't have that info. So right off the bat, with a very simple example, I want to continue my instrumentation journey. So right now I've got last execution time. I've got the setup of the instrumentation. What if we had a run sequence? That's an array we can push to. Or just generations. You know, and what would go in there? When we run a consequence, it means that a condition matched. So if we say what is that structure? Last execution. Don't want to do this quite yet. So, say it got the rule, the working memory that was provided, and the result. Let's push that into the generations array. That would mean out here I would be able to say post result. Let's log out the engines last execution object. No generations recorded? Well, that's a bit of a misnomer. Rules length is not executed, that's registered. Let me fix that language. I don't like that that's wrong. And definitely asking that to execute. I ask that to execute. It initializes, grabs the results, calculates time elapsed, returns the results. While it executes, on this last execution, in generations, it pushes an array with the rule, the working memory, and the result. It feels like that's not executing. I mean, how can that be? That's such a fundamental issue. Let's see, this is the Maxim-Engine and consequence. It's not running. Condition. If I switch that, same issue. So that consequence isn't firing. Or sorry, that condition isn't matching. How can that be? Curious, curious. Gets executed as a condition. What's its type? Undefined. Hang on, wait. Why is this? Oh, yeah, because part of the sentence and the result. And so, oh. Yeah, that works. That works way better. Yeah, let's make it let's make that go the right way, shall we? All right, so that's executing. Let's flip that back to a simple, still executing. Don't need this debug message in anymore. Still working right. Although I want to see more of that information. What does that? Isn't that it's a node thing that is it util inspect? Now that's that's not helping me. There's something in there. I know it is. Node.js util inspect. I need to give it probably some parameters. False null, true. A null must mean infinite depth. True is what? Oh, colors. Oh yeah, like that. Okay, so obviously the first run, this is the rule that fires, this is the incoming working memory, this is the resulting working memory. So we got our hello, and then when it was hello, we said goodbye. So our output looks good. Now, why didn't, I am curious, this work? It must mean a very this is the way I'm using reflect or the proxy. So how does in work with a proxy? Oh, we're getting into some deep JavaScript here. Proxy in. Has. I haven't implemented has in the getter. Let's fix that, shall we? Oh, this is exciting. I had a bug. It was real. It showed an actual deficiency, and I'm gonna test drive its solution. Okay. We got, let's see, let's put this in the, what? Read-only proxy builder. Sounds about right. Works with a property listener. Should handle many nests. Top level properties. All right, this feels like a really basic thing. It should handle the in keyword correctly. Let's wrap a thing. We got a thing to wrap. We should expect I don't have a test here for the red properties. trying to think of how this all works now. So if I have actually, this could be really simple. Message in proxy to be true. That ought to fail. It's not failing. Failed. So, this is truly doing a thing. Message in proxy is true. Oh, sorry, lost that camera feed. That was weird. I have a loose power connection. Sorry about that. I'm expecting message in proxy to be true, and it's true. So why is this true and this false? Let's try another check here. Not something missing in proxy to be true. And what about this? And that is okay. See, and I was wondering about that. And it fires properly. So that means that my example needs to be fixed. Like such. Now I feel better. So that generations thing. It's a thing. I like it. It was very helpful here. I feel like this is actually something I can write a test against. I think that might be worthwhile. So, what does that look like? For the time being, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to... Why don't I start at the very top level? So my integration spec This is definitely going to happen in the instrumentation block. Am I using the same rules in more than one place? No. Using all kinds of different rules. I feel like I might want to use these though. Reuse them. I don't know. You know what? No. Let rules be a couple of simple rules. Why don't I borrow them from my cascade example? Two rules. Don't want you there. They look good. When I should instrument terrible name. I'll fix that. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Whoa. Excuse me one moment. Okay, sorry for that. Quick blow your nose, run away, come back. Is it bad form to blow your nose on camera? I think it is. Okay. So, should instrument or rule run correctly? Don't like the naming of that, but I mean, basically the engine is going to register those rules, and I would like, please, execute those rules across an empty rule set, or an empty working memory. Then I would expect several things. I would expect that what? I would expect that there are two entries. So engine, last execution, generations, length to be 2. Got 0. Yeah, let's do a thing here. You see, I ripped out the implementation. I wanted to be forced to code it. I'm gonna kind of put it in a bit at a time. I'm gonna push a thing in. My test passes. Now I valued having a reference to the rule in there, so that I could see the different rule descriptions. Oh, well, they don't show up now. But when I had it there, I liked having the rule descriptions show up. And so that was a matter of, hang on, let's create a temporary variable here. Just the working memory generations. I would expect that it's like this too. I would expect that the first one's rule is equal to my first rule. I would expect that the second, oh, not that rule, 0th element to be rules 1. That's going to fail. So, instrumentation should include which rules ran. Right? That's a thing. That's going to fail. Why is it passing? Oh my gosh. Oh, too deep. Equal. Rule 0, please. Boy, brain fell asleep for a minute. Rules 1, please. And that's going to fail because I'm not putting the rule in. And include which rules ran. I mean, the fun thing is here, when I have a condition that can never run, that does nothing, then I would expect that that would still be 2. And it is. If it was true, then that would be 3. Yes. Oh, 12. It's gonna... What? 12. Oh, it fired every single time. Always met. And it did 10 times the loop, looking for the time when the condition wouldn't fire. Yeah. That's fine. Still like my test. Okay, and we can evaluate the contents also. So it should include which rules ran. It should include incoming working memory for each rule run. And let's see if we can reason this through. Hold please. Get rid of some of this redundancy here. I'll get back to that. We would expect that the WM generations first run the second element so the first one is going to be empty incoming memory. That's going to fail. And pass. The second one, let's make sure we have the contents right. It's going to get set to hello. Undefined. Oh, yeah, well, because it's the same index, please, on the next record. Okay. And it is not a misspelling. Yes, thank you. Okay. And then, you know, this is pretty straightforward. It should include the outgoing working memory. And then we could say that you know, not using that variable at all here. Let's get rid of that. And don't need to say this so many times now. We would expect that the when generations 0, 2 to give us that hello message, because it's the first rule that writes the message hello. This is going to fail. And because it's undefined, let's drop in working memory copy. Now, basically, we've done the same thing as we've done above. Forced by tests. Let's grab the next rule entry, or instrumentation entry, and the final result is goodbye. Looks good. So I'm testing the instrumentation across the generations. Now, you know, matched rules, working memory, time. I had instead I implemented these as another array, as a tuple. It's more. Do I like that? Do I not like that? I mean, it's certainly not friendly to the reader, is it? It's, you know, if this were rule, that feels a lot more readable to me. Like, as a developer, I would enjoy that rather than trying to remember the 0, 1, 2. I mean, that's definitely going to fail. You know, it's not an object. If I oh boy, incoming, initial, result, rule, initial, result. Do I need to say working memory? No, because this is the array of working memory generations. Okay. It will all fail now. And this is no longer an array. No. How do I feel about that? I like it better. I like it better. Okay, I'm going to hold with that. And, oh, I got one more thing in there. Should provide timing of the rule run. All right, I got some instrumentation, and I like the cascade, how it reports it here. I'm gonna say prefix that. All right, I like this. It works for me. Totally works for me. Let's pop this out. I think this is another example. Integration spec. We're only proxy builder. You know, this does indicate over here. Oh, I got to finish this. Yay, modal dialogues. Okay. Change to the engine, change to documentation. First pass at instrumentation. Let's tester passing right. We're one ahead of master. Let's patch that up. Is that really a patch? I feel like some pretty new capabilities, but it's not a breaking change. That feels better. Let's push all the tags. ought to flag a release for us. Let's make sure all that goes in that way. Let's see. Travis, how you doing? It's tagged, figured out the 1.2 release for us. But we're coming in just over an hour today. Don't want that in there. I have a feeling I want to write some documentation around the instrumentation, but I don't know what form that's going to take yet. It feels like I need a section on debugging rules, and it feels like I want to think about that a bit longer, see what I actually want to say in it. So I'm going to spend some time thinking. Think more, code less. Favorite saying of mine. Okay, I'm going to call this a stream. This has been really good. Pretty happy with the results of it. Tiny code change. Let me walk through another example. Found a bug. Think I found a bug. No, I didn't find a bug. Thought I found a bug, didn't find a bug. Although, maybe I did actually find a bug. Hang on. I'm going to go back on this. So, when I reference that message in a condition, the proxy, so let's see, the proxy builder is fine, but I would expect here, I should expect this let's check this out. That should register a property usage. Use the same example here. And let accessed equal to message in the proxy. That's probably going to fail. Yeah. And it's failing because, as I discovered here, has is a thing I didn't build a proxy method for. Let's do that. So the read-only proxy builder, there's the reflect.get. So let's do this the simple way. It's going to do a thing. It's going to use has. Reflect has, doesn't it? Indeed it does. So many things happening here. Hold on. Where do I register? Where do I add to the property use analyzer? Guess I don't do that here. I'm not sure how I like this. I mean, this is the core wrapper here. I mean, this one here, we got to get recursive and wrap the whole thing. So, yeah, that's going to sit back there. This isn't. I mean, I could do that. Sorry, I have a colleague falling down the rabbit hole. It's distracting. Let me finish this up. I mean, oh, I hate to do this. Let's retype it. Get proxy as proxy. I need all those things. I just need to do that. And I need to do that. And I need to do that. And I do not need to do that. So, kaboom. Shocking. Syntax error. Parentheses after argument list. What? Why? Oh. Yes, please. Much happier. So the in syntax is now functional. Not a bug. Wow. I lost video again. Huh. Somewhere. It's the connector. The connector on the camera is loose. Okay. Okay. I did find a bug. I did fix a bug. Bug in handling in keyword with the proxy. This looks good, and I just want to let's get that up there. We're going to kick off a new build right off the bat, and that's going to be happy. All right. So, sorry it took an extra 15 minutes. Didn't want to let that go. Wanted to get that addressed. But I think it's looking pretty good now. My example is happier. I have test cases around it. Yeah, I'm going to call this a string. All right, well, thank you for joining me on this fine Sunday afternoon. And I will see y'all next time.